Welcome everyone to today's IAPC&M CPD Building Masterclass. My name is Julie Kennedy. I am based in the Netherlands, even though I'm British, and I am your host. And today on the hot seat, we have PGC qualified teacher and accredited life coach, Sallyann Dury, on a great topic: maximizing our impact by delivering courses. Now, on a side note, that is on my to-do list, so I am very grateful to have you here today. Before we get into it, some housekeeping. Our call today will be a maximum of 1 hour, including 15 minutes Q&A. The session is recorded, so please mute yourself, but keep your video on so the speaker can see they're not talking to themselves. And of course, feel free to unmute when Sally asks us any questions. And if you have questions coming up, feel free to put your hand up or etc. and deliver it. Or otherwise, I suggest you use the chat box for any questions and suggestions and things like that, and we'll go over to them in the last quarter of an hour. So for now, get your CPD pad. I hope by now you have your pads ready to keep these notes so that we can actually look back on them and put all of this into practice, and your pen ready. And over to you, Sallyann.
Yes. Oh, you called me my Sunday name then.
I did. Sorry.
One.
It was just Sally. Exactly. I was getting carried away.
It doesn't
just
matter.
Sally.
We was talking about it, weren't we? And I said it went out on all the publicity, and I was like, oh, they put me Sunday name.
I just find it so pretty, Sallyann. It just escaped me. Sorry, Sally.
No, you're absolutely fine, Julie. It's a slip up. It was just made me laugh because I know you changed all your write up.
I chose exactly, and then I didn't read them.
Yeah.
No
problem. Thank you very much. Welcome, ladies. Thank you. And welcome to those that may watch us on replay or watching through the live stream as well. So, yeah, I'm Sallyann Dury, and I'm a coach, a trainer. I do group work. There is many strings to my bow, which I'm sort of going to go into. So I've got a presentation I'm going to talk through. I'm going to ask you some questions along the way. That's me, because being a trainer, I like to get some feedback, basically. I need to know that people are still alive and I haven't bored them to death. And I need to get a bit of understanding of people as well, because I think that makes and brings training to life. Training can't be just standalone. It needs to be relevant to the people. So even though I've got you guys that are sort of on the Zoom call, we've got other people listening, you're probably going to come across the same questions and things that people are also thinking. So please throw some at me. I welcome it. I'm going to throw some at you. So let's get on to the first bit. And I said to Julie, this is always the icky bit, isn't it, where I have to transition. And let's hope it all works fantastic. And I do have some friendly faces amongst us, so which is brilliant. And can everybody see my slides, which have started off in the wrong point? Right. So maximizing your impact by delivering courses. So I'm going to go through some thoughts and some things that are going to, I hope, prompt you to think about delivering courses as part of your business model. You may already be doing that. So I'm going to sort of flip in and out of this presentation to ask you some questions as well. But as Julie said, it's on her to-do list. However long it's been on there, Julie, have you had it on that to-do list a while, or is she gone?
Have indeed far too long, and then I get busy and it gets pushed off. But yeah, I that is the thing to do, right?
Yes. We're going to go through just some things that's maybe just going to make you think and hopefully take some action into delivering courses as part of your offering. So I'm going to introduce myself first, as well as just go through what we're going to cover. So we're going to explore how courses can expand your audience and thinking about what that means, and just a few pointers really. Understanding your audience, so just a few thoughts. It's thought-provoking and getting you to think about things that you could do. You've got a vast amount of audience in front of you. Are you tapping into everybody that you maybe could be? I'm going to give you some key takeaways delivering a successful course, just some little bite size. And my main thing for 45 minutes to an hour is that I hope you to inspire you to take some action. So like Julie just said, putting courses together has been on our list. And if it's been sat on yours or in your mind, this might just be that point to go, right, I'm going to go and do it. Or it might give you some little things that you're already delivering courses, but you might think, actually, I need to think about that element or another element, or it's just giving me thoughts. So that's what I always aim to do. A bit about me. See that dog there? It's not my dog, but I'm a lifelong learner, and I massively believe in learning and learning from all situations and continuous learning. And I think that the more we can do that, the more we get to expand our knowledge and share our wealth, and we become better. And I think you must agree because you're here today, listening to this or watching this. So that's brilliant. I run, or I may jog, whichever one you want to call it. And a month today, I'll be running Manchester Marathon. So 14th of April, I will be running a marathon. So just some daft little facts. I'm a mum to two, a wife, and I put a doggy owner, and that's not my dog. He's a Labrador, but I thought that was quite a funny photo to get us started. I own my own business. I also manage a community interest company that works with vulnerable ladies to get them out, moving and doing and just getting out there and connecting. I love to be creative, and I love to explore new ideas and places. So expanding my knowledge and being that learner, all sort of couples in together. So I wanted to give you a bit of background really, because why I'm coming to this platform with this knowledge and this experience. I've spent over 21 years, it was 20, I've had to put on another one now, in learning and development, both in commercial and public sectors. And I think that sort of gives it a really good balance. Plus for myself, working for myself and owning my own business, previously and now, I've been able to build courses, train courses, go out there and develop courses, sell courses, everything. I've managed a variety of funded projects as well. So that's a lot of the time that's been working in the community, working with people that are maybe at a sticking point in life where they need to get onto something new, find employment, just need that sort of leg up. And that's predominantly been women. Not always. I've worked in construction and all sorts of areas. I am currently actively training. I am on the floor doing the job as well, developing courses and working developing other training businesses as well. I work for people. Just to give you the credentials, PGC qualified. I'm also level 7 qualified in special education and inclusion, all around adults. I've got a creative degree, which is in art and floristry. I also have a level 5 English qualification teaching diploma. Sometimes I wonder about that one when you see me spelling. And I'm also a qualified assessor and IQA. So I can go in and assess people for NVQs, apprenticeships, and I can also IQA the material. And within that scope, that means I can deliver teacher training qualifications as well. And aside from that, this past year, I've been going down the route of therapeutic practitioner coaching, actively coaching one-to-one, and then looking to complete other modalities at the moment. So that's going to be finished soon. So I've got a real breadth of knowledge in the coaching world and seeing what's going on there and bringing that together with the teaching and workshops and courses and development that I've done previously. So it's a really good mix. I'm also sound like real busy person, but because I did my art degree, I'm a qualified floral designer to degree level, and I've previously ran a floristry business where I also then delivered workshops to children and to adults. So, and as I said, I'm a business owner and community interest owner. So massive list of things. So my question to you, first of all, is what is your why? Why are you here? Why are you doing the job that you like to do? Why are you doing coaching? So I'm going to stop sharing. If anybody would like to come forward, speak, put in the chat box, why they're here, what's interesting you about doing courses or workshops? Would anybody like to speak? Great to share good practice. Yes, Mel. Yeah. It's great to share good practice. And just to get a spark of ideas, one of the things I always say in every course I've ever delivered, you might sit with me for 6 hours. I hope it's not 6 hours. It might be 2 hours, might be 1 hour. But if you can go away with one little nugget of information or an idea, that's the best hour or day spent into it, because you've done something, you've got a new idea, you've got inspiration, or you've learned something. You don't always learn for that full time. B.
Thanks, Sally. This is great. I love that you've mentioned about community and also about connecting people and using all of those skills, because I think coaching for me is such an important part of who I am. It's intrinsic, but being able to share across the board with multiple people is really, really good. So when you do one-to-one coaching, which I love, but to actually be in a room and share information, I think that's what, you know, as you say, you see your group of people getting one little nugget of information and a takeaway, and that's really what gives me the joy, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's and that's why it's sort of bringing it to the forefront and saying it is possible. There are ways around it. And we're going to go into that because we sort of sometimes stick in our comfort zone slightly.
Thank you.
Even as coaching. Thank you,
You see, there's some answers
and I've got
some,
yeah, we've got some in the chat box as well. So Mel had said that to feel inspired and confident to plan and deliver courses. Brilliant. Yeah. Julie, you said you're delivering courses and workshops. Yeah, but I'd like to expand this into coaching and mindfulness. Yeah, it's expanding that knowledge. So I'm going to go through, give you some takeaways as well. But one of the things we cannot sometimes do is we'll teach how we've been taught. If we're not a teaching practitioner and that's not what we've studied, but we want to share the information, sometimes what we'll do is, as we've been taught, we'll then pass that information on in that way. And actually, that's great. That's a great starting point. But sometimes then we might need to jig it up a bit. And we need to find those other tools and that other advice and support that's going to come in and go, actually, have you thought of all these different ways that you can deliver this information? There's loads of ways. Sometimes we get in that comfort zone, which I'm going to talk about. I love to help people connect, make, and positive change. Yeah. And if you can do that to more people, you're making more of that impact. And I'm going to touch on that. Joe, running courses with groups means you get support from each other. Yes. Peer support. I learn from people around me as much as I learn from that tutor. And I always say, you'll learn from people in the group as much as you'll learn from me. I'm the facilitator, but you'll get so much experience just from having chats with other people. And Sue, you said background is IT training. I'm interested in how to incorporate courses as a lead magnet into coaching program. Yes. So that's one of the things I'm going to talk about. And I think, as you all know with coaching, you have the answer. I'm just prompting you to bring it forward. You know what to do. You've just got there's barriers going on that we need to work with. So I'm going to share my screen again. And I love it that I've got some IT people in there, because please drop me a message. I used to say on a postcard, how I can work this much better. Leading workshop, Charlotte. Yes, Charlotte, I'm leading workshops and find it. So in a workshop, previous paid job, yes, you was in teaching, weren't you? And now you transitioned across to doing something completely different, which is colour matching, which is brilliant. So it's then saying, how can I get people in front of me and how can I work it? That's brilliant. So I'm just going to share again. And first of all, I'm going to tell you my why as well. And my why is all the seamless, what you've all said, is I came to coaching and one of my mission or my thoughts was, I want to bring this into a course group situation. So going through the therapeutic stage has actually helped me individually grow as a person. So it's been fantastic. And then sharing that amongst others in a one-to-one way, but in a group scenario, is the best sort of business model I could do. So the reason I teach and do these things is I love to see people progress. I love to help others to learn and develop. I love to share the knowledge and skills. I love inspiring others and being inspired myself and going out and hearing all stories, meeting new people. I love to share tools and methods that people can use throughout their life and to help them improve in their life. And I feel that we all should strive and thrive, or thrive and strive, as I've put, and feel that we should be able to progress and develop at a pace and time that's right for us. And I think, like you want to make an impact, which is where the title comes from, and a bit of a legacy as well. So whatever you're training in, you are going to make a difference to that person. So I was talking earlier that as we know, as tutors, teachers, coaches, we can get stuck in our comfort zone. And I thought this graphic was quite a good little reminder that you've got it on your to-do list, you're thinking about it, but maybe your comfort zone is that one-to-one, but you want to spread the word out a bit further. You want to get different courses on the go. You want to think about different things that you're doing. But maybe you've got a good course program or things like that, and you're stuck in your comfort zone. We need to stretch it a bit, don't we? So hopefully this masterclass is going to get you to stretch that thoughts, those paths, and take action, get you out into your new comfort zone. So I just wanted to say about making an impact. So if I'm going to do anything, it's going to be to inspire, isn't it, to get you out there and delivering coaching. Making an impact, the more people you can do it to, and the wider you can scope your coaching in group scenarios, one-to-ones, is going to give an impact on you and those you can support and coach and teach, on their family, their friends, their work colleagues, their connections, their acquaintances, on your business and your family and friends and connections. So offering courses or workshops is going to start to broaden your audience. And as we mentioned in one of the chats, it starts to offer a way of bringing in different people into your world to see other courses that you do. So it's thinking about the snapshot things, the small bite-sized courses that you might be able to do that's going to lead people onto your path and take maybe one-to-one. So it's starting to get that. And I've put that impact on because we can do lots of impact with one-to-ones, but we can do lots of work when we can build communities and groups of people and courses by bringing people together. And even if you're not coaching and you're doing IT or you're doing marketing or you've got a craft, I do workshops that are flower arranging. I am still making an impact and I'm still spreading that word around and I'm still improving those people because not only do they get the information I'm giving them and learning a new skill, but they're learning communication skills from each other and the ability to take on new opportunities. So building courses and workshops is just another brilliant way of us spreading that joy and that impact that we can make for people. So I'm very passionate about it, can you tell? I asked ChatGTP, it's a bit of a mouthful that, isn't it? What is making an impact? So I like their little thing and I put it on here. Making an impact typically refers to the act of creating a significant and often positive change or influence in a particular context, whether it be in one's life, within the community, or on a larger scale, such as within an organization. So wherever you take your training as it starts to expand, or if you're already in businesses and you're thinking of other directions to take it, or you already do a craft and you're thinking of other ways to take it, don't forget that you are building a community of people when they're in that training room, and you're also creating a larger impact and scale on organizations up in their community, team building. There's lots of things that you can be getting into that marketing to sell your courses. Also, we help society as a whole, especially with some of our courses that we can produce for coaching, taking little bits of the modalities, the little tools, giving them out, they could be then passing them on within their family, within their to the children. Equally, if it's IT, they could be passing on that knowledge to the children, and they're helping with exams. There's lots and lots of things that us as tutors, coaches, we facilitators, we can make an impact. Making an impact can involve various actions, initiatives, contributions that result in tangible outcomes and improvements, whether it be social, environmental, economic, or cultural. So I quite like this little impact thing. It often implies leaving a lasting impression or legacy. Back to what I said, we want to leave a legacy. We want to leave a lasting impression. I think that's why we're here to do what we're doing. And it contributes to the wider good, which is why we're also doing it. So the more people you can get into your world through coaching, through courses, through online courses, the more people that you're going to be able to spread that word. And for one way or another, it becomes a bit of an extra marketing tool. So why do you need to think about courses? Why do you need to take action? People have to build a relationship with you. They want to build a relationship with you. They want to know you, trust you, like you, see if you fit. Sometimes that big jump from one-to-one work is too big for people. So if you're offering bite-sized courses and workshops that's nurturing that relationship, then you can get them, you might get them that they want to do one-to-one and they recognize that. They might not be at that point as well, so you're bringing them along that journey. If you've got crafts or cakes or IT, you also might want to give them snippets of bits to build up that rapport. And then also you might be doing other things that they are interested in. So you're building those relationships with people through offering courses and workshops. It gives people a taste of what you do, how you are, how you present yourself, and how you and them can fit together. Sometimes it doesn't always be a good fit. And that's fine. We know that's fine. Not everybody's going to be the best fit for each other. It might be all right for that couple of hours workshop, but maybe that's enough and that's all they want. But they don't feel like you've got to fit together at the moment, maybe to do with a one-to-one work. Courses and workshops can also be a door opener to other opportunities. I have gone to places where I've delivered courses and then the venue has asked me to go and do something else. So it builds up that rapport, builds up relationships, opens doors to other things. I've gone and done courses and then I've spoke on a networking meeting. So it gives opportunities because more people are seeing you or more people are seeing you online, that you're starting to open more doors. So it's a drip feed. It might be an entry point for you. It might be an entry point for the person, for the participant. So you might have this absolutely fantastic one-to-one package, VIP day, anything else that's going on, but actually they need an entry point they need a door opener further down the path. And they need to sort of test the waters. They're not sure, but you're offering this course. It means that they can come with the mate, and then they're going to get warm to you. They're going to build that relationship. It becomes that entry point. Through courses and workshops, I've also been able to generate new ideas. It's given me ideas because I'm one of my key things is listening to people, what they're saying. What do they want? When I've got people in a group, it's like the market research there and then in your place or in your online space. You've got lots of ideas of what people are wanting that you can then build upon. And generate new ideas. It will challenge you. That's good. It will give you presentation skills. It'll put you on your toes. It will do lots of things for you. It will increase your confidence. And it's a really, really good way of networking. And you get paid. So we all normally pay for networking, possibly, or free things. But putting out there your courses could actually become the way of getting paid and getting networked as well and getting out there. So I just wanted to give you an example. Just like everything, it doesn't jump up straight away that you're going to get lots of people on your course. And I thought this would be a really good graphic to show that it's growing your audience and your participants. It's step by step. So your first course, and I just shown this as a graphic, but your first course might actually get a couple of people, a couple of participants, and you're thinking, well, I wanted 20. I wanted 20 people, and I'm really disappointed because 20 people haven't come. But those people in that room are interested in you and they've come, and that's that first stepping stone. And actually, that's your learning point. You're learning your craft of just getting up and delivering. So that's brilliant. But there's 2 or 3 people, they might come and do something else. So they might go to the second course. But also, I've put interactions and people seeing your post. So if you're advertising a course that's maybe a little bit more wider open, it's not one-to-one, it's not that sort of, they don't feel that they're at that point, but they want to do a course with you. Or you're doing crafting, or whatever you're doing, your interactions, you might have had 10 interactions with people asking you more information. How you reacted to those and into, exchange communication, that's that empowerment sort of impression of you to that person. Even if they didn't come on your course, they took an interest. It might just not have been for them at the time. They might not have been able to afford that money at the time. They might not have been able to do that day. Something else has come up. Childcare, lots and lots of reasons, but they took an interest. So that means you're on the right point. So you're learning lots of information, and you're also interacting with more people than you maybe would have done before. And then the green bit is all the people that might have seen your advert, and then you become to be in their brain. You come to speak sort of in their world, even though that course isn't for them at the moment, or they can't attend it, so they didn't even interact with you. You might be hitting a wider audience through advertising and putting on courses and workshops, one-offs, or full courses or online courses. However you're doing it, you're going to be then growing that audience. And like I said, I've done it in a plan that you get your second course or your workshop, more people are coming, you're interacting with more people are seeing your post because you're sharing it, and it grows. It doesn't come straight away, but nor does people coming to you one-to-one come straight away. They like to build up, don't they? So this is a really good way of building your confidence, your business, your growth area, spreading the word, making an impact, creating a legacy, and also having a bit of fun with it as well. One of the things I've learned is I had somebody come on a group program with me. It was an online group program. They then came to a workshop. They then wanted another group program, and they then thinking about one-to-ones. I had another person that was in a group program, and they recognized that they needed one-to-one work. So there's a real channel of people that you're sort of filtering through that need you at different times of their life, but also need you in different ways. And by saying it's different ways, you're offering different opportunities. You're going to widen that stretch of people. So this is a bit of the business model that I've put together that I'm doing that I thought I'd share with you. Is this then becomes lots of different entry points that people can access me and be in my world, and I'm accessing a bigger audience. So I'm do one-to-one coaching, I do live courses, I do workshops, doing VIP days, I do live workshops, online workshops, self-directed courses where they just pick up the material, run it at their own pace. They might, that might be enough for them at that point. That's just their entry point. Group coaching programs. And I've done the arrows that going around because people will filter through each one for them, which is right for them. They might start off with a self-directed course, but then go on to a live workshop. They might decide it's a VIP day, then they might go to just a one-off workshop, online or face-to-face. Then they might go on a course. They might decide they need a one-to-one session. And then from the one-to-one session, they might drop into a program. So they could even go across. They don't have to take that route. But what I'm saying is that by the time you're offering a variety of things, you're giving options of lots of different ways that people can come into your world and that you can make impact and help people. So this is my very simple business model. And you might be having 2 or 3 of these things going on already, and you're looking to expand into those others, or you might already have all of that, maybe doing not one-to-one work, and think, actually, I could do some one-to-one work. Is there a place for that? So this will fit your business model. So where do you start is where you're thinking. What skills do you have to share? What other skills do you have to share? So you might be doing one thing at the minute, and your main aim might be that you want to get onto more coaching people. But you might have another really good skill that you could do workshops with as well and integrate them together. You might already be doing IT and you want to expand it where, look at where other skills that you've got that you could share. What is the outcome that you want? What do you want that person to get out of that? Maybe that one workshop that you're doing, what's the outcome? Work back. So you just got to start thinking, what do I want them to do? Come away feeling calmer. Come away being able to decorate a simple cake. Come away being able to pick different clothing and feel happy about themselves. Come away and be able to do a simple IT function. Whatever that is your starting point. The end point is actually a starting point. Think about where you'll be delivering the course, the workshop, or the group session. Plan. Put a plan together. What's it going to cover? You've got your end bit, you've got your start bit. I'm going to go into some takeaways that will dig into this a little bit deeper. I'll put gain advice because ask people, get people's ideas. Test drive it out. So test drive it out. It could be on family, it could be on friends, it could be on a tester group. You're only going to be able to build your confidence and build your skill set the more you do it. Having it on your to-do list is brilliant. You know you're thinking about it. But just doing it is going to be the best starting point. And it might be that you've got a few people that you could test it out on. And master your skills in presenting. Look for opportunities. So it might be that you don't want to go and do a workshop or a course fest, or you've got them in mind, but you're thinking about, right, I need to hone my presentation skills. I've got to get up and stand in front of people. One-to-one is one thing. A group of people or just facilitating a group of people in coaching might feel a little bit more daunting. So where can you go and do some little tasters, some little 5 minutes? I'll get up and share my knowledge. I'll get up and tell you about my story in different networking groups or different places that you are to build on that confidence. And also at the same time, you're marketing yourself. So the other thing that is really, really good and what you need is understand your audience. This is key, isn't it? This is, you may know your audience, but now we're expanding it. We're expanding it to people that might want to step into your world and come in on a course or a workshop. Then you're going to lead them along and you're going to, really give them the skills that they're going to improve. But you need to ask, sometimes I say you need to ask your audience. Who's your audience? You need to ask them. You need to ask yourself. Do some research. What's going on in your local area? So if you're going to go online or you're going to go out into the local area, what is actually going on? Who's doing what? Who's your competition? What trends are people looking at? What are they talking about? What are people interested in? Sometimes you've got to get that buy-in, but what are people interested in? What's the themes that's going on? And how can you harness what you do into that theme? And online communities, get involved in online communities, online groups. Join online groups, what's the chat about that you could then maybe plug a gap. But asking your audience, if you've got a big audience already or an audience in a certain category, then maybe ask them what else they'd like. Or ask the people that come to you already what else they'd like to do or understand or get better knowledge in. I've also put in there, who's your ideal client? Loads of people say about this, don't they? Ideal client. It is, put down who's your ideal client. And I'm going to come back to that. But who is your ideal client? And then what do they want to learn? What do they want to know? What can you teach them? What tools can you give them? What opportunities can you give them? They might not be at one-to-one stage, or they might not be coming to your courses at first, but what little feeders can you give people that's going to help them, give them some skills, but like get them to the point where maybe they feel confident about coming to a course or a workshop or a group session? What position are they currently in? And I say position very, very loosely. Where are they in their journey? Are they at the very, very beginning where they're not even recognizing the skills that they need to get? Or so then the language we use might have to change. And I'm going to come on to that in a bit, but think about where they are. Are you targeting beginners? Are you targeting people that already have some knowledge? Are you targeting people that are quite au fait but want to re-engage with something? Are you who are you targeting? Who are they? And what point in their journey are they on? I've put listen. I think I've covered it a little bit as well already. But listen to what's going on. Listen to people. Listen to conversations. Listen to language. That's the key bit, because when I'm writing courses, I listen to the language that the learners are using, the participants. I might not get it right first time, but if I'm in a room and the language I've used on the material or the marketing or the wording that I used, I'll remember and I'll listen next time. And I've got an example of that. I did a networking group, and I was vague on purpose for this particular group for this last month. What I got was people came with their own vagueness about what I was doing. And I thought I didn't have the right audience or the right people that were there. And I realized through listening to and asking them why they was here, what they thought, just asking a few questions, getting my coaching and teaching head on and listening to them, I realized that my vagueness in my marketing meant that they came with their own expectations or ideas of what it was, and it wasn't necessarily the same thing. So listening is a really, really good thing to help you with your marketing and to help you to make sure you get the right people in front of you, but also to listen to what people are wanting. And I put read. There's loads of information out there of different ideas and courses and things that you could then pull together in your own fantastic way, or information or updates or articles, and then pick it out and do something with it. If lots of people are interested in it, then and you've got skill set to match it or a buy-in, then use it. Read things, get your information. And the other thing about your audience is understand how they want to learn. So by that, I mean, not just about their learning styles, and I can go into that in more detail, but also how do they want this information? That you've got these fantastic tools, you know that they work brilliant. They're either going to make them quicker on the internet or doing the day-to-day job, or they're going to be creative, or they're going to have really good tools to be mindful. But how do they want to learn them? Do they want them to be in a booklet that they can just read at their own leisure? Is that their point that they're at the moment? Do they want to be in a group? Do they want to do it online? So just think about how they want to learn, not how they learn. That's different. How they want to learn. Also on here, one of the things all of this encompasses when you do things is gain feedback from people. So the people in front of you gain the feedback. What else can you do? What else are they interested? How did that go? So I have put a QR code on here with a free feedback sheet as well, but just some tips of how to gain that feedback. It don't always have to be I'll send you a questionnaire. Could be different ways of doing that, just to gather that information and that feedback as to what people want. So before I go into my takeaways, I'm just going to ask if there are any questions.
Let me have a look. I've been scribbling so fast. Let me see. No, I don't think we have any questions.
Anybody got any questions that they want to? Charlotte.
Hi, Sally. Thanks ever so much for your presentation. It's been really, really good.
I haven't finished yet, but yeah, I've got some good stuff to come.
I'm eager for your takeaways. So I suppose this is a comment, but also a question. I've got lots of questions, but really, I think you using that language about bite size is getting that kind of balance between trying to say everything in one workshop and then thinking the only way I'm going to do this is by moving venues and different things so I get completely different audiences. The key thing is to try and think about keeping some of those same people, as you say, about expanding your audience. So trying to think about how you can break things down, but it's still being substantial enough to
Yes.
to for a couple of hours or whatever. So that's the kind of thing I'm wrestling with at the minute. So my first workshop that I've got advertised, I've got a very broad title, but what I'm trying to bear in mind is not tell them a tiny bit about everything I know, just so that I can have things on different kind of topics. So does that
Yes.
like
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you're doing?
Yeah. I'll cover that slightly. And there's a lot of work I do on that. And that comes up in other courses. So you're not alone, Charlotte. It's in our nature that we want to share all the information that we've got, give people value for money. I've got to tell everybody everything because it's just like popping out my head. And then actually, we've got to, I've labeled this on, we've got to pull ourselves back to that learner. I describe this as we're the expert. And actually, when we start producing these courses and start, even with marketing or anything that we're doing when we're trying to get people in, we have to bring our thought back down. So what was it like when I first stepped into this? And you didn't want all that overwhelm, did you? You just wanted little bits of information that you could go away in action and then come back probably with more questions. But you've actioned one thing. But so you need to sometimes just chunk it out, but also you don't want them to feel overwhelmed. And you don't want to feel overwhelmed trying to give them loads of information that's just the head. We know we can't cope, can we? We have to sometimes repeat things and go back to things and think about it and research. And so we need like snippets of bits that then you can also lead that. It is about, we lead ourselves along, don't we? We're not ready for that end point. We need a little trickle along. Oh, I've got to taste this. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll go on to the next bit. Yes, from a business point of view, it works because you've got people coming along that journey with you, and you mold your courses so that then you've got, right, I've got a next course. I had an example of actually being in a situation where that didn't happen. So recently I've done pottery. If anybody knows me, I've done pottery. I've been doing it, been on my bucket list. Anyways, did a beginner course, which was 6 weeks. And I asked them, oh, when are you doing a next level course after that? No, we're just doing a beginner's course again. It's pointless me going on the beginner's course. They just repeat the same thing. And then I said, oh, well, what's the next? And they said, oh, well, it's Potter's Club and you just sort of free for all. And I thought, I am going to Potter's Club just out of thinking, but I was like, but then there's Zoom. And I was like, I wanted to get my hat on and go, oh my word, do you realize like all the things you're missing here? Do you know, this group of people plus the group of other people that are all coming through as beginners, and now they're intermediates now, or the beginner level 2. You're missing the stages. So yeah, I think it's really about drawing yourself back a little bit and going, what's the bite sizes that I can give people that's going to send them on the journey for that. But yeah, got you thinking, Charlotte. Yeah. Anybody else questions before I just move on to my takeaways? I'll go through them quickly. Probably have some questions after that. I'll go on to my takeaways. It's a good idea if you share. I wish it was just all voice automated and we could just tell it what to do. So my takeaways. This is probably going to, like I said, it's bite size. I've got about 9 different takeaways. Some of this might come up. As I just said to Charlotte, you've got to become that learner again. You're the master, you've done all your learning, your head and your language is up there, and you need to draw it back down. You need to think about, what do I need to do that's going to give them just small little bits that they're going to be able to action, that's not going to be overwhelming. What's it like? What's the language I'm using? Because we was talking about something yesterday and we use the word modalities. Well, some people don't even know what that is. Toolkit, something in your back pocket, or different terminologies that we use. People are always at that level. Think like your participants. So become the learner yourself and also think like your participants. Put yourself back in those shoes. I do an exercise where I say, imagine yourself as an alien and you've dropped down on this earth and someone asked you to make a cup of tea. Do you even know what tea is? Do you even know what a kettle is? So sometimes you have to take it right back to that beginning point. And find out about your participants. So find out goes back to that feedback. And also finding out goes to, where possible, if it's the right thing, I will send out a questionnaire. Find out about the participants before they come. If not, then I will do things within the group. I did it today with you guys. I asked you why you're here. To find out information so that I can tailor it a little bit to you, but you can tailor it to them. So finding out about your participants is a really, really good way of just you're meeting their needs. Also, so attend courses yourself. When was the last time you attended a course? Might have been not so long ago. It might have been a while ago. You might also think about other courses and just see how they do things. A face-to-face course, an online course, how you will learn not just from the activity that they're doing, but you'll start to observe their teaching, start to observe how they manage that room, how they operate online. Think about your own well-being. Don't overload yourself. So don't think, right, I'm going to do a workshop every day or anything like that. Don't overload. Workshops and teaching is tiring. You're servicing a lot of people at once. But workshops and courses can actually give you more freedom and free up time if you get the balance right. Because in essence, if I was doing a workshop in the morning and I had 10 people on the workshop and then I did 2 one-to-ones, in theory, in reality as well, I have delivered impact to 12 people that day. 12 people, I couldn't do 12 one-to-ones. So if you're thinking about that, how I can deliver more things and more impact, workshops and courses can do it. Think about the numbers. So I could talk for an hour more, do a whole workshop on numbers. Think about how much you're charging, how many people need to be in that room, how many people can you effectively manage and feel that they're going to get enough out of that course. It's okay thinking, oh, if I got 20 people on a course and they all paid this, well, that would be X amount. If you got 20 people on the course and it's a workshop and you're going around and helping everybody and giving feedback to everybody and doing all the teaching methods, is 20 people a lot? We know that in the schooling system, they do big classes. In adult education, they don't. We tend to go with maximum about 16. You never really get 16. 16 is quite a high number. 10, 12, that's a really good number. Below, that's fine as well. But really think about those numbers of how many people can you successfully manage. And then there's the numbers of the money and undercharging yourself, undercharging the situation. So there's a whole host of things in that, but please give that consideration. And as I was just saying to Charlotte, do not overload your course. It does not help the learner when they go away overwhelmed. It doesn't help us. We know ourselves. Think about yourself. You know you don't want to go away overwhelmed. You've missed the beginning because you've that focus on all the information that you're being given that you've actually not learned anything possibly because it's just been too much. You need to focus in on some key bits and really do some exercises and different ways of learning, because you don't listen and learn something once. You have to repeat it and go over it in different ways. And there's a whole host of things on that. And also, just some more things. Plan your workshops out, which I said. Use some tools and methods that you can help with sort of getting your information together, and think about your participants' needs. Think about the day and the time that you're going to be delivering these workshops, these courses. And this links back to your ideal client. So if your ideal client is a working mum, or is a retired person, or works 9 to 5, or they may not be going to be able to come to your course during the day, or they might not be able to come on a night. They might be able to because they've got childcare, and you'll never get it completely right. You'll never be able to get everybody at the same time who want to come. That's just life. But you can maybe think about, who your target market is, who your ideal client is, and then link your workshops and your timings around that. So, who are you targeting, and are they free on that time? Are they generally free, or is that going to be a problem? Sometimes, like I say, you can't always win, but it's really, really key. And consider how you're going to deliver it. Is it online? Is it face-to-face? Is it self-directed where it's online? Is it recorded? Like I said, going back to your ideal client initially might not think that they've got time to spend on a course for a full day. They might not think that they've got time to spend a couple of hours, because that's their world and their life at that moment. So therefore, maybe something that they can just pick up and bite size in the back office or somewhere else might be their step in. And that's where you come in, because you've got that offer there, or recordings. And then you might build them up to that. If you go just face to face, then you go in a local area. So is that going to, it's great to do that, but are you narrowing your audience down? Do you need to do a bit of both, where you're going online for certain things and face to face? Or have you got a really good clientele where you can go to a venue that's middle location and then do face to face? You will build up that audience and that being able to deliver workshops, but you've got to start off with where you are and where your audience is currently. And lastly on this, review. So review what you've done and take note, learn from it, reflect, and just really, really review your own work. So I can't tell you about that. I could write a book, but I have got some courses. I have got a QR code here, which will lead you to the courses. And I do a boot camp where it's 4 days. It's going to cover everything from writing the course to delivering the course to thinking about your materials, and it's everything encompassing. Or you might be at a really introduction stage, and I've got 1 day course for that. I have also got little bite-sized courses where it's just igniting your energy into the workshops you're delivering. You might need confidence to even get started. You know you want to do it, but you just don't know where to start. Your confidence is all over. Or I've got some one-to-one sessions where we could just work together, or we could do a VIP day and we could work all day on putting your course together, which is obviously encompassing everything. And I've got a QR code for that. And I can share this again as well. And yeah, I've got some details on there as well of how to get hold of me, but I am on Facebook, so probably the easiest place is Facebook or LinkedIn. Find me on there, drop me a message, Sallyann Dury, it comes up, and I can then answer any questions if you've got anything after this this webinar. So I'm just going to come off here for any questions, because I'm conscious of the time. Julie, was that okay?
That was very much okay. I mean, I hope there are questions, and I would very much invite the attendees to make use of having you here. For now, I'm like shell-shocked. I was halfway between saying I feel like I've been hit by a runaway train, and I'm so inspired my brain is exploding with things that I do want to do. You are a very impressive lady with a huge amount of wisdom, know-how, expertise, delivered with incredible passion, but in a very concise, down-to-earth, practical way. You've shared really excellent tips here. So thank you for that. Now, questions,
the opportunity.
go for it. Use the opportunity. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask directly. You've given us a lot of food for thought. So I think most are like me, thinking like, okay, right, I'm glad I've taken 3 full pages of notes so that I can go back.
Yes.
Any question that pops up immediately?
Anything, Corin?
Anything at all? I'm scanning the audience here. I mean, I think it was extremely concise. I mean, you really managed to put an awful lot in this 45 minutes, but yet in a very, I don't feel overloaded, which is actually quite clever of you, because
telepathic at the same time. I'm like zooming in. But yeah,
yes.
Any questions, any thoughts? Oh, B, yeah.
Okay. Hi, ladies.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Sally. That was really, really good. And you've inspired me to revisit what I was thinking of about 4 or 6 weeks ago. And that was kind of my reason to sign up for this, to kind of be inspired again to reconnect in with running workshops. So I may touch base with you. I'll connect with you on LinkedIn. Definitely. But it's like that, deciding, is it live? Is it online? Is it recorded? There's lots of things flying around my head now. You've really got me thinking. So I've really enjoyed Thank you.
Oh, brilliant. That's brilliant. And that's what we all do, isn't it? Is to inspire. And you've probably got ideas there, B, that it's just sort of taking the first easy, manageable one, isn't it? As we say to all our coaches, what's the one that just feels at least resistant, that least that one you can do easily, and then it
Yeah.
grows from there, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think you're right
brilliant.
about that, taking the step, you know, having all the ideas and all the plans, but it's taking the action to kickstart it. So thanks for that little
Yeah.
reminder, kickstart.
Oh, I'm down to earth. I come with a virtual kick sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. And for me, I mean, I know I've certainly got a lot of takeaways from there, and also experiencing you as a multi-passionate person. I get in my own way because there are so many different things that I do. But what I've taken away from it is, you know, choose one, make it bite-sized, think like them, you know, go back to what was it you wished you'd had somebody back then, and just do it. Go through the process, do it. Doesn't matter if there's only 3 people the first time. Review, speak to people, and each time you are still getting eyes on you, right? Whether it's the advertising that you're doing, etc. So very, very wise words, and no reason not to do it. So that's what I wish for all of us today. If we're here, it's because we do feel that that is what we want, should, need to do. And it's to just, you know, get out of our own way, choose one topic, go for it.
Yeah, and it could be the one that you feel might widen your audience. So, do you know, I was going back to my flowers. My flowers, I'm doing like different ones for the seasons, but through that audience, I'm then attracting different people that I can then talk about the other things I'm doing. They might not go and see a thing saying vision board, but I might speak to them about what it is. Next time they might think about it. So don't always think about that one thing. Think about all the great juicy stuff you already know as well. Helen, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, thanks, Sally, so much. I came on late, but what I did get was brilliant. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just briefly, I'm thinking, but I'm not thinking, I'm going to launch my first group coaching this autumn. And I've been procrastinating it over like 2 years. Julie probably knows as well. Finally doing it. However, with your expertise, what would you say in terms of the things that I'm really starting to think about now, because I know my market, I know what the course is, I'm not struggling with the content or delivering it. What I'm really giving more consideration is the marketing aspect. Is there any platforms that you would suggest that have been beneficial to yourself, for example, out of the many that there are? So the marketing side, and then also from like the idea of it to actually launching it, I'm thinking at a 6-month time scale, because I need to build up my audience for this course. Because the audience that I've got currently aren't large enough to deliver it. So I'm thinking literally a 6-month timescale to really work on my audience, make sure I've got everything ready, and then launch at the end of the 6 months.
Is it a face-to-face group or online?
It's online.
Online. And do you already have the audience? Or do you need to build the audience?
I need to build the audience. That's why I'm giving myself a 6-month window. So there's no, like, if I feel like if I launched it, for example, next month, I actually wouldn't have the audience needed to make it sell.
Yeah. So my question to you, this is our coaching head on, isn't it? My question to you is where your audience coming from? So platforms, you go back to the ideal client. Where is your ideal client, and where are they sitting? What are they doing? You know, where they're going.
Yeah.
So then the next question after that is, how are you going to keep them warm for 6 months? So do you need to test the market with small little bite-sized things before you come to the big program? Because in your mind, I know you've got the big program, but maybe you need to do little bite-sized things to keep them warm and to gain that momentum and to gain that. So it's okay saying you've got 6 months, but those people might drop off because nothing's happening in 6 months. So you sort of, once you've got them because something's happening. Do you get me? So you might need to do some, or do a little online workshop where it's not, or a course. It's not going to be the big group thing that you're thinking. but is there little drips that you can offer that will lead them to that?
Okay.
So the stages
Brilliant.
before your group, aren't they? The stages. And then there's
Okay.
things like, you know, where are they hanging out? What groups are they in? And all that type of thing. And then go in and do little bits.
Yeah. Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
does that help you, Helen? I realize we're running out of time.
Just
I don't know,
on
has Lisa-
time, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, has Lisa gone? She did actually have her hand
Lisa,
up, but I guess
hand
she
up,
knows
but
how
she's
to
gone.
find you. She
Yeah,
knows where to find you. Exactly.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see, we could have talked about this. So come back and give us another session, because
I
obviously we
would
haven't.
lovely give you another session.
Exactly.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Yes.
For the rest of you, put all these nuggets in your CPD pad and let's take action on them, right? Let's actually choose one of these and go for it. So I wish you all the very best with your courses. Sally, I wish you huge amount of wide visibility, because this really deserves to be out there. I mean, this, like you were helping the people with your pottery course, more people should think along the lines of the way that you're thinking. So thank you very much for that. All the best to you all, and speak to you again soon. And Sally, really hope to have you back here.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Would
Bye,
love to.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.